Good morning, everyone. My name is Rita Jensen, and I make journals. I actually have a few on Etsy for sale. So at the end of this video, you can check the links to my other journals. The reason for this particular video that I'm doing is I have a journal pack that I have for sale on Etsy, and there's several items in this pack, and I thought maybe I would just show you what to do with the pack when you buy one. You may not think that you can put all these things together, but I'm going to try to do that. I don't know that I can because it's a mixture of all kinds of items that I just threw in to make this package. So this comes to you in your order, and there's 56 pieces, I think, altogether in it. I may have to use some of my own items to do this, but you know, all of you should have a few things at home. If nothing else, you have book pages or copy paper from your computer, whatever it is that you have. And if you're just starting out, this will give you a little starting project. It will be more of a junk journal. It won't be a theme journal like a botanical or a child's book or whatever you need to make it for. It would primarily be just made from items that are in this packet and that are vintage, and some are new. Okay, so I'm going to get started and we'll see what happens. I don't know how long this will take or if I'll even get it done today or use all the product. A lot of times you can't use everything on the same journal. You have to wait and use it something else, and then you collect it and you have this stash of items to work with in the future. Okay, so I'm going to put this over here. The first thing that comes in it is this book page. This is from the Biltmore House. It was like a brochure type thing, and the pictures in it were really kind of cool. So, and I thought, well, this page here could be the basis for a cover. Hopefully it will be thick enough, but I'm not quite sure. So I was thinking of doing it like this, which would be a travel journal size, but a lot of the items that I have won't really fit well in a travel size. So I'm going to make it the size of a normal journal, which is about 8.5 inches high by only 5 inches. I mean, the pages are like 5 inches. So closed, it would be like 5.5 and 8.5 down. So what we need to do, I'm not going to cut this, I'm going to fold it, and I think that will give it more strength. So here's the center page, and I think that's kind of a cool thing. So here I need to make it, the outside cover needs to be 8.5. Most of your journal pages are going to be about 8, so it'll fit in this pocket. So first I'm going to fold that part up. I'm just going to eyeball where it folds. Actually, if I fold it this way and then fold it back again, it's easier to keep on my target line. Just a little fold in it like that, and then we'll fold it up. Okay, so writing is going to be upside down, but we're going to cover it. This is going to actually be a pocket in here. I can't find my bone folder to crease these things, so you can use the edge of your scissors. Not a problem. All right, so now we know that we need 5.5 going out this way. Move that over a little bit. We need 5.5 going that way, so I'm just going to put a tick mark there, and let me put one up here, 5.5. And I'm going to fold that in. Actually, I think I'll just put my ruler here and give it this like that, and then fold it. Okay. Now I'm not sure if I like that going that way, so let's look at it this way. I don't really like either way of it folded. So I almost feel like I want to just take this off because it just doesn't really, kind of takes away this picture here that would be showing. And that would be pocket. Well, I think maybe I will leave it, and we'll just cover up all of this with something else. So let's measure this way, 5.5. And 5.5. Turn this and bend it up. And every packet is going to have a different picture, so you'll see that. I'm going to put this inside though. I think I like that better in. And then sometimes like this shows, so just cut it at an angle like this because it's not going to be, it's going to be glued down. I'll do the same thing on this side. That will help it. There we go. Okay, so I think I'm just going to take a little glue stick. Let's see what's on the outside. Okay, we've got this picture on this side, and we have this on this side. And we may decorate those. We'll see. I'm just going to kind of just glue stick this down so it's a little bit stuck down before we work on it. This part I don't want to stick down because I want to make pockets. I want to glue this. You know, let's do this just for a little added touch. And then you go in and do just a little V right here to the center. And another little V right here. Oh, very good. Should be using longer scissors. Works better. Also, I think I'll do a little distressing on the edge before I glue these. You don't have to distress it, but I like the distress look. Might as well just go around this real quick. I may get it covered up before we get done, but I distress it, and if it gets covered up, then that's okay. This doesn't really need it because it's already dark. Okay, so now we're going to glue this edge, and we're going to glue this edge, and that will make a pocket there. And that edge. Okay. So now it's starting to look like a journal. Fab. Okay. Now, this doesn't have to be like a journal. This actually could probably go in, this is a little hanging over. This could go in another journal, depending on how many pages you put inside of here. You could actually make this one signature of a larger journal that you make. Okay, so let's see what we've got. Here's some of the things. Little packet of charms and things like that. A little bit of paper. But my first thought was covering this maybe with a napkin like this. I mean, we just want to make it a junk journal. So, we have a pocket there. If I was going to do that, I should have done it before. Okay, let's see. I'm going to rip off my ruler here because I want to rip off this goldy edge. Most of it. Not ripping. Sometimes these napkins don't want to rip. Okay, to get this off the back, your napkin, if you haven't done that before, you need to find where your tape starts. You can use regular Scotch tape type stuff. I just didn't have any sitting right here handy. So I use a little of my washi. And then, so that pulls that page off. Sometimes it doesn't want to. There we go. So we want to take all these layers off. These white layers. Some only have one and some have 3. And you can save those background white pieces if you want to just diffuse something, like you don't want it to be really bright and you want to tone it down. You can just glue a piece over. Maybe I'll show you how that works. Okay, so let's see, which way do I want to go with that? I think I'll just do it like that over there, and then put a piece of something over on this side. Okay, so I don't use Mod Podge. A lot of people prefer Mod Podge, but I prefer just plain old glue stick. And I use this Scott, it's called Scott Create glue stick. It's my favorite. And it just lays down really nice. Not a bubble or anything. A little bit right there. It's okay if it's not perfect. That's why it's a junk journal. Okay, and then we can turn that over and trim off that little bit of edge that's sticking out. Alrighty, so with that, let's see, what could we put? We have a couple postcards, and I mean, even those could be journal cards. This one already has writing on it, and it was from, it looks like 1924, February 1924, from Kansas. I don't really want to cover up the back, so I'm just gonna leave it sitting by itself in a pocket. Okay, so okay, so that one's covered. There's a lot of white spot there. Nope. Okay, so I put enough lace in here to actually go down the side of a journal, so that would look good there. That covers that up. And I don't think it'll take that much room out of the pocket. So let's cut that. Now you can sew this to the side, or you can just glue it on. And my sewing machine is so far away, I'm just going to glue it. And this one I have, this is called Fabric Fix. It's at Hobby Lobby. And I did find a lesser expensive one at Walmart, which is called Fabric Tack. So, and they're both the same. They're made by the same company. Okay, so I'm just kind of swirling this down here. Put the lid back on. Set this down here. It doesn't matter what you do in your decorating. It always comes out looking good. At least I think so. That's just, you know, the fun of it. I hope I'm in frame here. So move this over a little bit. Move it up. Okay. So we don't have a pocket yet to put in there, but we'll figure out something. This is all pretty much dry. So now let's put some pages in that we can do. And you can use any size pages that you want in your journal. So in this packet, I have, here's a music page, and that one is going to need to be cut down. So we're going to, and the pages can be all different sizes. Oops. No. So we're going to cut this one down to 8 at least. And then save these little scraps because you might need them for something else. And you can use your mat. See, I've got the line there and a line down here to make sure that, you know, things are straight. Well, if I didn't have that page on underneath it, I could make sure. But okay, so there's a page that we can put in. And let's do it this way so that doesn't curl up like that does. Okay, and then let's see, I have some avocado dye paper. Let me get that folded over. And our paper, US paper, is 8.5 by 11, so 8.5 fits in here pretty perfectly. I think it's a little bit too much, so let me go over here and trim off just like 1/4 of an inch with my trimmer. Okay, so there's a page there, avocado dyed, and this looks pretty with it. And this is from a old notebook from Shanghai, China. It's probably from the 1940s, I think. Okay, and then we can add, here's a children's page. Is that a double or a single? That's a single. Okay, here's a page. This one had a advertisement glued to it. I don't know if maybe I should try to take that off just so I can use it elsewhere. Yep, we'll leave it on. Nope. Darn. Okay. I'm gonna get it off because I like it where this front page, what it says an encyclopedia for Australian gardeners. And then we'll use these little things in another part of the journal. Obviously the other kits aren't going to have this because it just came with that on there. So that's okay. All right, so that's a page that we can put in there. Okay. And then I'm just going to fill this with some pages right now so you can see that this is coffee dyed paper. And I'm going to cut this one off 1/4 of an inch too. I'm over here on my cutter. Just feel like it's a little too long. Okay, so now we got coffee dyed. And I would like this children's book in here. Page. But I need to make a page to go with it. Let's see what I can find. This dictionary page is kind of chewed up. This is coffee dyed. So let's just put these together to make a page. And you can do this with, I'm going to use washi tape. I have a little collection of washi in here. But you can do this with masking tape, blue tape. I'm trying to find something that's wide enough. These little houses might be cute. So, yeah, you can use Scotch tape, actually. You can use masking tape. And so if you don't have everything, you know, we as journal makers, we start collecting things. And so we have a few supplies. But if you're just starting out and you don't, you can make do. Alright, so I'm going to see how that folds up. And I'm going to leave this page longer, this way, wider. That'll be okay once it's in once we do a signature on that. Okay, so that's a few things that we have to put in. Now we could add another book page. There's a map. Did I already put the, okay, I put the coffee dyed in. I think I'll put the coffee dyed like in between these so there's a little bit of contrast. Okay, so now see how we're doing. All right, so I think that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's plenty for one whole signature. I mean, I do 8 about 12 in a signature. I don't like to make them too big because then they're really hard to lay it down. Okay, so now we can decorate something to put in these. So this little card, probably should put something on this side as if it was a cover, maybe pretend cover. I have this lace that, or this is I don't know, it's not making me real happy for this journal. It'll be good for something else. see about this one. I think we'll wait on that. How about... Okay, so that's kind of cute on the front, and I was going to say we could do it as a flip that opens up like this. But I kind of like it for a pocket, but I can't make a pocket if I do the flip. So I guess we'll go for a pocket. I hope that looks good to you. I'm not sure. It's got so much white on the front here. But we'll just kind of darken it up a little bit. This is Vintage Photo Distressed Oxide from Tim Holtz, which is usually what I use on most of my stuff. And we don't really need to decorate the pocket. It's pretty much decorated. And if you get a postcard, because they're all different, you may just want to do a flip, or you can use it to insert into a pocket. Okay, so now this looks like it was a little, I don't know, like a little box or something. Yeah. No. I don't want to put anything on the postcard. I think it would take away from it. This is a little game piece that's a child's game. Okay. So this guy, I need to flatten him down. So let's make a belly band. Actually, I think I'm going to put it right over to the edge and make it a tuck this way, because that paper wants to fold up. Okay, this is cardboard from a school teacher's bulletin board, I guess, where they teach them how to write. So I'm going to cover that. With this. Let's see, that is long enough. Yes, I made these long enough to fit in the book. Okay, so put some glue all over that. That right there on that. And then we'll cut this part away. Again, in all the kits, the maps are different states, cities, whatever. And a couple of them are coffee dyed. One in your kit should be coffee dyed. The other one should be plain. All right, so that's that. And we got a piece left from that. I might put the same thing on the other. Yeah, I like that. Las Vegas. Everybody wants to go to Las Vegas. No matter where you live. No matter what country. I guess. I went to Spain. Oh, what's it called? The, Monte Carlo? Is it Monte Carlo? Where they have gambling and the casinos and stuff. It was an interesting trip. Okay. All right, so now we have that, and we have a place. We'll let that dry somewhat before we start to put anything in it, but we have a pocket there. So I'm going to go to the other side of that paper and hold it down with another one of those. So I think I'm going to do another, because I put 2 of those in your packet. This one is a little longer, so I have to shorten that. Okay, so I'll move this out of the way for a minute. Get my glue page. And let's see, this one is of Phoenix area. Just some mountains. I bought a kit also myself on eBay from a lady in the Netherlands because I wanted some lace that she had, and it was free. If I bought $35 worth, it was free shipping. So I said, well, I'm going to do that because shipping from the Netherlands has got to be a lot. And I thought when I got my kit, I thought, I don't know, this isn't all that great. But I have been using it, and I can't believe, you know, how many things that I've, and she just sent little, I should show you, she just sent little scraps of paper and a couple of vintage postcards, I guess, was in there, maybe stamps. And she did send some I'm trying to say, book pages of different with a different language on them, and that's kind of cool. But so far, I haven't really had a use to put those in one of my journals. I'm working on a botanical journal. It's kind of a remake. It's a journal that I made, but it was not full enough with pages, so I'm adding pages. And if it's on my YouTube channel if you want to watch that and how I made that journal, or how I'm making it step by step on that, or trying to. And my glue is just, lately, I don't know why, it's not stuck, it just doesn't want to come, or maybe it's getting empty. Alright, so hopefully that was the way I wanted it to go. And this is glitter glue, and it holds really well. It's in a different bottle. It doesn't come in this bottle, but it's called glitter glue. And you have to order in the summer or the spring, because once it gets cold in any country, they won't ship it, because I guess it messes it up. Okay, so there's another pocket, and that holds down that music page. So, stress this a little bit. Okie-doke. Now, we can add something to these if we wanted. Here's a little dictionary thing. It says gorgeous on it. Here's a little dictionary. It says graduation. They're all going to say a little different, this and that. Here's a little stamp that I made that's a Norman Rockwell. That looks kind of cute on that. Just something, you know. Here's a little piece of fabric. I don't know if that's too big. Let's see. I like that. I'm going to trim that off. That comes in your kit as well. And this was left over from your kit, so we'll use that somewhere. Alright, so this, I think I'm just going to use my glitter glue to put this piece on. It's funny how just one little tiny piece of lace adds so much character. And we'll put this guy on there. This is from a Norman Rockwell calendar. And, you know, everybody has calendars. And so you can cut out birds and butterflies and flowers. My mom gets several calendars from, they're like, you know, they want her to send money. I can't think of the name of them right now. Red Cross and stuff like that. And they send her calendars, those people. And so she gives them to me, and I try to find something to cut from it. I'm not going to glue this all the way around. I kind of like it to have a little edge of fraying. I have my door open. I thought maybe there's sound like a wasp or something. I don't know how they get in. They manage. This has always been a little loose. I had some glue stick when I first started doing journals, and so some of the things I've made, I've had to re-glue because they weren't, you know, that good. I put some, I just don't like the way that this is so white. I'm going to see if I can brush it a little bit, just to discolor it a little. These are makeup brushes. I don't think they're very expensive, maybe $5, $6 at one of those discount stores, or sometimes the dollar store has them. It just gives it a little bit of aging to it. Okay, so that's there. And let's see. Now let's make a pocket. Oh, you know what we have in here is Minnie Mouse. There it is. This is my Pride and Joy book. This book was quite expensive, and it's from, oh gosh, I don't know, probably 1930s to the 40s, when Mickey Mouse and Minnie Mouse were first a thing. So I want to make this a page because I want it to be able to turn. I should have put it to this page, but I didn't. So let's see. Let me find where I can put it, where it shows it's best. Kind of look like it across that pink, within that pink. Okay, so now I need to find a page to attach it to, or something. I keep picking this up. I don't know. It's just the vintage look of it, or the green. But okay, it's another one of those. This might be cute with it when we, because it's a game. When we decorate. Oh, here's a music page. That'd be probably cute. A handwriting page. That's kind of cute too. That says children and adults. Alright, we'll use the music page somewhere else. This is just a plain envelope that I threw in there because I thought we could collage it and make a pocket that comes with your kit. Alright, I think I'm going to attach, maybe I'll just attach half a page of this. Yeah, I'm just going to attach a half a page. Let's see, let's make sure that's enough. I need to go down at least that far there. This book has its own little natural aging on it, somewhat. Okay, let me move this out of the way so I don't glue it down somehow. Okay, so we're going to take these two pages and put together with some washi tape. We could also glue this down, you know, with an extra piece of book page or something like this. If you don't have any tape, then, so I can rip this without, let me go this way. If you don't have any tape, you can put them together with a hinge. And take this and fold this in half. Like that. And then put your glue here. And set this page on it. And then glue this side. Don't understand it. Sorry about this, guys. It's just doesn't usually do that. Okay. And then we're going to put this one on this side. cut this excess off. That's glued down. Okay, so there's that page. And I kind of like that next to the pink here. So I'm going to put that there. And then we have this on the other. Okay, so let's see. We've got this page, this page, this page, this page, dictionary page, this page, the map, other side of that page. And when you actually sew these signatures in, make sure all your pages are straight or in the middle, wherever it is that you want them to be. I mean, you could put them all the way to the top or all the way to the bottom if they're shorter pages, but just, you know, try to put them in a... Okay. Now, what? Let's, I'm just going to put this in here for now, just like it is. And then, let's see, we can make a journal page. Here's also a, you could have used that for a belly band, or we may make a tag out of it. Okay. But I need... move this out of the way. Because I really want to put... I've got this doily. And I have some fabric. And I have people somewhere. This. I have this too. That would be pretty on the pink page if I can figure out how to put that there. You know, I had a whole packet of book paper. Oh, here they are. Hold on one second. I think I'm missing a book page. Right there. Okay. This is supposed to be in your kit. I had it and I laid it out somewhere and I don't know what I do with it. So this is something we can use for making pockets too. Okay, so I have the book page, and then I am looking for the butterfly. Oh, there they are. My people. I want to do something with these people in here. So, figure out what to do with them. Okay. Oh, there it is, right there. Sometimes I don't know where I'm at. I try. I'm new at this, by the way, just in case this is your first time watching. It's a very new thing for me as well. Okay, so let's make, what I wanted to make was a journal, a page to go inside of here. So we need to make this smaller. So let's make this, and I'll just cut off make it about 6 inches. Okay, and then I need to cut off this trim. Now you can make a journal card out of some cardstock if you have it. This is what we have, so that's why I'm using these items to make these. Actually, I'm going to make this maybe a little bit smaller. We're not going to have this book page on the front, so it doesn't matter because I'm only using this double page so that it's got enough thickness. Okay, so we're going to take this over here and I'm going to glue this together. This just makes a sturdier page. I don't like to get that glue all over my mat. This glue is like kind of thick or stringy, some people may say, but I'll tell you, it's one of the best that I've found so far. Because when you glue it, it's pretty much going to stay with what you're making. All right. I think I'll keep that for a minute. Well, I like this pink napkin. That kind of actually goes with that map. See? So, let's use this. How much of that do I... This is going to go in the book this way. So I think I want the pink flower out that way. I'll cut this to make it more manageable. You should be able to get to use this several times, depending on what you're making. Because even this edge here makes really a nice little border, that center part. So let's see here how big that is. Okay, I got that left. I wish my Scotch tape was handy instead of using washi tape to get this off. If you try to pick it off a little bit, I must have used Scotch tape in the other room for something. I'm not crazy about this one here, so I'll use that. This was a trick I saw on YouTube. I don't know who showed it. Maybe Gal Augustinelli. I don't know what video it was, but I had never known this before, and I used to peel and pick and really try to get it off. Okay. So this we'll put like that so that it's going to slide in our journal right there. And we are making do with what is in the kit. And you probably have things to go along with this, or so this shows the book pages through. This is kind of cool. Okay, so that one is a little bubbly. Maybe missed a spot of glue in it. I don't know. Okay. right, now I'm just going to trim all this off. On tags and things like that, I'll show you. I might be able to do it on this one, I'm not sure. But what I do when the background is real stiff, I just take the, yeah, it won't do it because this is too thin, but it does it pretty much. Take an embroidery file and just file that, and it comes right off. Especially if you just have a little bit left on the edge and you can't cut it close enough. It works better on a card than it does on the softer paper. It is kind of working. Anyway, I don't need to take that kind of time, but I wanted to show it to you anyways, because we can just cut it. I have no idea what time I started this video. Feels like it's been a while. I don't know if I can stop and come back and finish it in another video. Otherwise it might be just too long. I don't know. I don't know how long people put videos on for. They don't seem to be. Most people don't do it for more than an hour. And I think that's because it takes so long to upload the videos. Okay, so this is going to fit inside here. Like that. And then we've got to put paper on the back side so that they can write on it as a journal page. I guess I got to do it this way. I wanted to do it the other way, but that's all right. Okay, so what can I use for the back, since I did not put a lot of background paper in your kit, but hopefully everybody has a little bit of, I mean, you can use the back of, well, this is really pretty. This is something we'll have to put on something. What can I put on the back? All right. So what I'm going to have to do is grab a piece of my scrap paper to put on the back of this. Quick enough. Yeah. And then maybe before I mail out the kits, I will put in another couple sheets of background, just plain paper, coffee dyed or whatever. I'm going to cut this first. Otherwise I'll have to glue, well, I guess I could have glued the back of that. So I have a little box of pieces that I have cut off from other projects, and I use those for the backgrounds. Okay, it's a little crooked, so let's line this up a little better. And this is a little crooked. See if I can get it as straight as I can. I'm not very good at getting straight. This just started doing this a couple days ago. I never have a problem with this if I keep the pan in. But, alright, so there's that. And I'll just do a little distressing around this. Now, I would normally like decorate this, so we'll see. You can't have it anything very puffy, because then they can't put it in their pocket. Okay, so there's that. It's pink and pink, and then we need a tab for here to pull it out. So how about just this little bit of lace that we have left? Okay, let's see. About that big. And I would probably sew around all this. That's probably what I would do. I think I'll use fabric tack. My hands get stuck to everything. I need to get a wipe. I really like that napkin. Pink. Looks good with the avocado dyed paper. I don't know if I told you that. One of the pages that's pink is avocado dyed. Gotta wait for it to come down. It's a beautiful morning out. It's gonna get in the high 90s though. I live in northwest Georgia. And I don't know, yesterday got hot. It got a little humid. We had a little rain in the afternoon, which we needed. Okay, so we've got this little journal card in here. These will hold better once they're all attached. And I don't know, we could put something on it. Let's see. Coca-Cola card too. Well, I had I don't know, I might just leave it plain. Let me see here. I kind of like, oh, this is kind of cute to put on the map. And it also has like this little stamp, which we can use like in a corner of a page that's plain. Then there's another postage stamp and another little dictionary thing, but I like this blue with this map. What can we put behind it? Probably just a little piece of this. I hope that's the right size. really hard to rip this when it's tiny. I don't have enough strength. Oh, come on. Okay. And there's a little piece left over for another thing. Just keeps unraveling. Okay. Let's see here. Ink that up. Now these, this little card is from Shabby Dabby Doodah. It's one of her kits, and it's on Etsy, and I've I've attached that link in the kit that's on Etsy. And I'll try to put it on this YouTube one too, but because, you know, to give her credit when I'm using her stuff. I just love numbers. These are so cute. Okay. Now up here, I think, and then I think I'll stop the video. I'm going to do one more thing. Then I'll stop the video and see how long it is, and if I can come back and do another one, I will. But at least you'll be able to get an idea of what you can do with just the little bit of stuff that we had in the kit. I mean, 56 pieces. Okay, this is a crocodile, and I'm going to set an eyelet in here. But you don't have to. You can just punch a hole, and you can put these little rings around it, and you can still add a charm. You don't have to have it with the eyelet. Let me see if I can find one that I like. It's kind of a goldy color here. Looks good. Okay, that fits that. And then on the crocodile, it's already set because that's the hardest part, is getting it set. So you put that on there, get your little stud area thing, and then just push it down good. And there's your eyelet. Every time I do that, I'm so excited because it's hard to... All right, now I need a pan to put a charm on. I think I'm just going to use... These are coilless pens, and maybe I'll throw one of these in your kit too. So let's see, let's find a charm. I mean, you may want to add buttons extra or something like that. I'm just going to put this one charm on here just so you can see how it's done. Okay, and then we'll put this up here and holds that charm on, and see. So then that fits back into there. We've got the little charm hanging. I may change my mind on that pen, but no, that might be okay that way. It's whatever it is. It's whatever it is. Okay, and then I mean you can put another card in there or something. Everything goes back too far. That's too small. But so I think if I don't get another video with this, and I think I'll try, because now that I've got this, I'm going to have to use it somehow. So I think I'm going to try and come up with another video to add more to this this journal section. I don't get to make these very often, the ones that don't have a lot of meaning. They're just cool junk, because I'm always doing a theme, or I'm making it for somebody who, this is the avocado dyed paper. I might make a pocket with something with these people on it. So I may come back and do that because that would be fun. Okay. And then we've got this page here, this page, the Encyclopedia for Australian Gardeners, and then a dictionary page. It says freehand. I didn't pick anything in particular when I pulled them out. I just said, you know, I can't figure this out. I can't worry about it, and I didn't. So as long as they're not bad words, I did check to see if there was anything kind of bad. And then, oops, that's upside down. Oh, here's Detroit area on that map. And then that's the Lake Michigan. And I'll probably ink those up a little bit more. And here's a space we can put a pocket. And we have the little children's book here. And the other side of the Encyclopedia for Gardeners. The other side of the little Chinese book. And there's Minnie Mouse. I love that. It's a sewing theme too. And I'm a sewer. I'm a quilt maker, so that's kind of cool. I think I might have to do something a little bit different here. Or once I get it sewed in, it'll be in the right spot. More coffee dyed. And then we've got this little page here to put another journal card in. We'll have to make another one. And then that's the back. And then we have a pocket here to put something in there. So that's going to be it for right now, and I will try to come back, do something different, see if we can, you know, do another, because we don't have to keep these pictures. You can just use this as your base to build on, you know, or you can cut these pictures out and use them in some other format. I kind of hated losing the little castle there, but you can still see it pretty much. Okay, well, thank you so much for watching, and hopefully you enjoyed this. And I was in frame, which I probably wasn't because I noticed I'm down here a lot. Got to get over that, not having my videos in frame. But I will try. Thank you very much. Have a great day.